Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast.
Oh, God. Here we go. On the road with the Hot Rod Tour of Texas. This is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show coming to you today from Spindletap Brewery on Houston's north side. Coming up, we're going to hear from some of our tour takers and their rides.
Nice.
Jeff will bring us some car culture.
Yeah.
God knows we need it. Are we going to do American versus foreign?
Yeah, what's better? What do you buy? What's going on?
I'm kind of an
What are
American
the choices?
guy. Yeah. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, who's gathering up our next guest, who's going to be Jeremy.
Mm-hmm. Actually, he went to the kissing booth. It's his turn in the kissing booth.
Whose?
Mike's.
Well, that means that they're going to close the gates and everybody's leaving. I cannot even imagine such a thing. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, we always need more Jeff Zekin. Our chief engineer, David Ainsley, sits behind me today, which is a pretty scary thing, actually.
You don't want
I'm Don
David behind
Armstrong.
you.
So glad that you could join us today. Jeffrey, I think that the group is here. And,
The group is here.
Yeah. There's a little place for you, and there's a headset for you. We sterilized it just in case you had some sort of, second thoughts about, maybe, is this a healthy place for you? This is not, but the headsets are. How are you?
All right. What about yourself?
So did you get any sleep last night?
A little bit.
Did you get any sleep the whole tour yet?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Poquito.
Well, so this is the better half of the duo that presents the Hot Rod Tour of Texas. I assume that Bobby is out and running around.
He's right out around the corner.
Okay, well, we don't need him anyway, but we have you here. So how are things this morning? You guys start off at 8 o'clock this morning?
We started at 8 o'clock at the
Move that microphone a little closer to you. Yeah?
at the Lone Star Flight Museum.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then we went over.
How was that yesterday afternoon? I know that you guys went up there yesterday afternoon, did you not?
Oh, yes, we did. It was great.
Did you have dinner there last night, Mars? Would you get up and help him? Jeez,
a little bit.
There you go.
Well, I've got a guy sitting right next to you that's supposed to know how this works, but he's just going to let you sit there and fumble with the microphone.
Fumble.
I hate putting my hands on a man.
Today.
No, that was yesterday, Mars.
Today, yeah.
Last night was great, though. It was great. Yeah.
Good.
We did have dinner.
What kind of dinner did you have? I didn't make the
Are
dinner.
you guys
Fajita dinner.
Are you picking out furniture this week?
Anyway, so that was at the Lone Star Flight Museum?
Yes, sir.
Did you have dinner inside the museum?
We did. We did.
Was everybody wowed by that place?
Everybody was impressed.
I'll tell you what, man, that is an impressive place.
Yes, it is.
I didn't know anything about it. I knew that they were building it down there several years ago. And the Northside Mustang Club actually hosted the national Mustang clubs.
Yep.
And everybody was there, and it was a full house, and everybody was absolutely wowed by that flight museum. And if you're listening and have never been to the Flight Museum, I would encourage you to go. I mean, if you're a car guy, it doesn't make any difference if you're a car guy or not a car guy. It doesn't make any difference. That thing is impressive.
It's very, very, very impressive.
Yeah, it is.
And last night we had flight simulators also.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard about that.
A lot of people got to get on the
How
flight
did you do?
I just watched.
Because it can be intimidating. If you don't know how you actually drive an airplane.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's not like a car.
No, it's not. There's a lot going on there.
So what are your most exciting points of the tour to this point in time?
To this point, my favorite parts were really driving the back roads. We hit a little bit of winding road on the way here. So
Did you?
Yep.
Well,
every stop's been great.
I'm not going to tell you where this happened because you probably know where this happened. But I got the Corvette up to 105 before I got nervous and shut it off. I was waiting for the cops to catch me, but they didn't. I didn't see them. But there were a couple of open stretches of roadway. And out there between, was it Victoria Palacios or Palacios, north of Palacios?
But, there
were two steps.
Yep.
You know.
I know what you're talking about.
Now, how fast did you get the truck up?
You're pulling the trailer.
I have to behave, so I was going 60.
Or 60?
Yeah,
were you the one that was saddled with the trailer?
My nephew's pulling the trailer.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
So it's a family affair.
Yes, it is, very much.
Well,
so you got your yellow truck.
I got the yellow truck,
Yeah. So we had a great time at the Hack Hack Winery.
Yes.
Who would ever know that there's a winery in Santa Fe?
Particularly
Yeah,
one that nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, yes.
And in like a middle of a residential area.
I know.
It's crazy.
Pretty much, yeah.
How the hell did you guys find these places?
Research.
Research.
A lot of research.
And begging.
Yep.
No, he just looked at where can I get a beer near me, and that's what it popped up.
Yeah.
That's the research.
That's that the research? So when you did the research for the tour, it wasn't just one day or 2 days. It was like a week or so, probably even more, because you took
Months.
Months. Because you take several trips all the time out of town,
Absolutely.
out of Victoria.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do a lot of road trips.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be just like coming to find this place. I mean, you're a couple hours away, and you got to find something to figure out. Well, let's go look at this place. It's 2 hours away, all the way on the other side of Houston.
Yep. And amazingly, the hardest part is finding somewhere to park.
That
that
was
many
my
vehicles.
question. How do you determine where you're going to stop?
Because parking really clearly doesn't have much to say about any of that.
Parking is the biggest part. So we'll find a location that looks cool to go to, and then we'll have to
Negotiate.
We'll start Googling maps, and then we'll start talking to the owners and the managers running the place and see if they can handle this size of crowd. So.
Well, I did some legwork for you this morning, whether you know it or not. Did you know it?
No, I did not know that. What did you do?
Well, we were a little bit verklempt coming up here because coming from Sugar Land, we had to go through town, around town over here, and there's a big construction project on 59 northbound at Parker. I'm thinking, well, that wasn't that bad, although things were down to 2 lanes on a 5-lane road. That's never good in Houston. And then we found that there's some other construction around here. Call Bobby. Call Jeremy. Call somebody and let them know, because we didn't know the damned route where you guys were coming from and how your route was coming up here.
Oh,
but once we talked to Sabra, we're going, okay, so they're coming up the back way.
Yep.
No problem. And so that worked out, but we thought, God, they're going to go the freeway, and the Hardy Toll Road is shut down, and 59 is shut down.
We avoid tollways, major highways as much as we can.
Well, yeah, and that's part of it, because not everybody has a toll tag or anything like that.
Well, that's
so,
not as much fun.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
you can go
right.
run a
And
freeway.
You don't see a
purpose
whole lot. Yeah.
is to get out in the country and drive. That's the whole purpose of it.
That's right.
So just to let you know that you guys weren't really scheduled to be here until between 10 and 10:45, and it's like herding cats, because as you know, especially the back roads, you get to a stoplight that isn't controlled by the police, and you got to stop. So then it creates a gap. Then you get lost, and there's this group, and then that group, and you follow this guy. And yesterday took a tour right outside of Victoria, and there's a policeman, and everybody turned right.
I heard about that.
And we had to go around the block. You get back in, and he's going, come on, this is the way to go.
Yeah.
So there's that sort of stuff.
And,
So you don't have 300 people like a funeral procession with cops going all over the place, guarding the way.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the course, you make it.
That's another impressive thing. The first day is police escort most of the way.
I know.
That was pretty
Escort
cool.
all the way to Santa Fe.
You know what? And they let you go through a red light. They never let you go through a stop sign. So I caught myself running lights and signs this morning thinking, where's my escort? Come on. I
Gotta
know.
have it.
even though that there were police up and down the tour, there were some that weren't manned by police. Screw it, we just ran it.
Yep.
Yeah. And if they stop us, I'm going to say, well, sir, you were supposed to be at that intersection waving us through. We're on the most impressive tour of the state of Texas.
And that's another thing,
Absolutely.
speaking of impressive, having that coordinated so when you get into that town that they're ready
Yep.
to
They're
do
waiting
what they
for
do.
you.
And I'll give David Brogger full credit for that. He managed all the escorts.
And when we
set
did
it up.
that, going through those small towns, love the kids out in front of the elementary school, and everybody's waving, revving the engine, honking the horn. Yay!
Yeah, it's great,
fun.
ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good. Exposing the kids to an event that Grandma and Grandpa are on. Oh, look, there goes Grandpa's truck up there.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
And I think a lot of people like the marina there in Palacios, too.
Well, we did. Yeah. And you know what? The funny thing about it is that was one that we could walk up and down, talk to guys. I met a guy yesterday that's from Neaterville, where he is. great guy, and he introduced me to his little group. One of them was with the 61 Imperial.
Oh, yes.
The convertible.
Yep.
Did you look under the hood of that car?
It's got a little something under there.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so we got a little bit into it. Come to find out that the engine fit, but the transmission did not because it's got a 10-speed. You know, those things are massive.
Yep.
So they had to cut out the rear floorboard to get the transmission in there. The rear floor.
Wow.
Yeah, because the engine sits so far back. It was great. Love those guys, and that's really what all this is about, the camaraderie and meeting people that have the same passion that we do.
Yep, everybody becomes friends after
Did you think that this was going to happen when you started this 4 years ago?
We were quite surprised it grew like it did.
Yeah.
We didn't know what to expect, and it just kept on going.
Well, that's kudos to you for putting on an organization, an event, and then making sure that anything that was, say you made a mistake or something wasn't right, you correct it.
Yep.
And then the next year it gets better, and you get more people, and you get more people, and you keep adding to it, and I think that's where you're at today.
Yep. We're trying to improve every year. So.
Yeah. Well, and look at the fortune. I mean, my God, you got a merch trailer now, just like the rock and roll bands. I mean, what more to say?
Do you have any groupies?
You got a nephew for a roadie?
Yeah.
Yep. Sure do.
Yeah.
So how many people, you say you have your nephew driving the merch truck,
Right.
so there's you, there's Bobby, your nephew, obviously your wives are involved in
And then-
this.
then we have a handful of friends that help us out,
How many
too.
in your group to kick this off?
Let's see. We have another 5
Dozen?
volunteers, I believe. No, 7 volunteers.
7
that help us.
volunteers, and then you 4, 5.
Yeah, right.
So,
Dozen people.
Yep, about a dozen people.
dirty dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stepped up to the plate to help park and do the scanning in and everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
the,
appreciated.
by the way,
all the tedious little stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
I was talking to Kate down there at the Victoria Square,
Yep,
the lady
yep.
down there, and I said, do me a favor, would you please guide these guys next year because there's not enough parking on the square. Here's what happens. They all get there at 2 o'clock in the damned afternoon, and the event doesn't start until 5. Well, you snab all the parking spots. So I had to park in a parking lot. We'll fix it next year.
There you go, and that's all it's all about.
We even had ancillary parking right there next to the courthouse.
Yep.
You know what parking lot I'm talking
Yep.
about? So that's going to be ours. Thank you very much, Don Armstrong. I got that.
You know what he negotiated? There's going to be a spot with his name on it. That's what he wants.
Right up there in the
Right
back.
there,
in
Yeah.
front, right
The
next to the
parking
band.
stops is Don Armstrong.
There
Now,
you go.
once I'm dead, there'll be the memorial there, the Don Armstrong Memorial Parking Spot.
And they'll put a Yugo in it.
Exactly. So, what's the car count like this morning? Because, it's one thing to start the event, and you got a full house. And then for whatever reason, this guy has to drop out, can't do the whole thing.
Right.
Yep.
So do you know what the car count is this morning?
I do not, but it's still over 200.
Still over 200.
And we started with 300.
Yes.
But you know that folks do other things. They'll be here. They're
Well,
coming in.
some of them, there were several cars on the side of the road, and people were stopping to help them.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's not just one car down. Now you've got 2, maybe 3 that are down because
Right.
people are trying to help each other out.
That's right.
I
And
saw that, I think, 3 different times.
And that's a good thing about this group. They see someone go down, they're going to pull over and help
Absolutely.
them out.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can get someone for next year to have like a chase truck.
Actually, there is somebody.
There's a
Yep,
chase
Steve
truck.
I
Glenn.
saw one of those, a recovery vehicle. I
Yeah,
think
there
is
you
what
go.
it said.
There you go. Recovery.
Is that what it said? Did it say AAA on it or something? Somebody glom on to the end of the tour?
Yeah, he's bringing a trailer. He has a Bel Air station wagon that's getting painted. It didn't get finished.
Oh.
So he's still coming along, brought a trailer in case anybody breaks down.
Very nice.
And that's camaraderie.
And
That's good
thinking
stuff.
ahead. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, that's
Very
Steve
nice.
Glenn from Panjo's Pizza in Corpus. Doing
Yeah.
that.
Ah, very nice.
Pedro's and Corpus?
Panjo's.
Oh, Panjo's
Panjo's Pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also
I've
have
had that pizza.
there's a pizza place there in Victoria that I thought went out of business. Oh no, Pied Piper Pizza.
Oh yeah, pipe. Yeah.
Remember Pied
Oh,
Piper?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
It's
like
over there
our
on Navarro,
It
across
sure
the
is.
street. from
competitor at Chuck E.
Atzenhofer.
Cheese.
Yep.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
look at
you're
what I
getting to
know.
know it. You're
I've
getting
learned.
the town down now.
I've learned the hard way. Yeah.
You ordered a pizza. He's got a parking spot. He's good.
Yeah,
He's
it
good
is.
to go.
But so, what's on the agenda for this afternoon?
So
'Cause
this-
you spend a couple of hours here.
We'll spend a couple hours here, then we're going to move on and wind our way to Montgomery. And
Montgomery, Texas.
Tonight is the Guitars and Classic Cars in Montgomery.
And what is that?
That was a new venue that we stumbled across. And so I believe it's 20 acres, right at 20 acres, 5-acre pond. And it's got a stage set up. And we'll be parking under the trees. It's an outdoor venue. We'll be parking under trees, and they have string lights throughout the trees.
Very nice.
And they held about a month or so ago, they had a nighttime car show there.
Oh.
So
They set the stage.
yes.
Did they
And
screw
we'll
up?
have the Crowbars playing there also
Yeah,
tonight.
Crowbar.
By the way,
They're a
congratulations.
fun group.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
And very talented. And we learned something about the Crowbars yesterday about the drum, the bass drum.
He had a suitcase. He was playing a suitcase. You can,
So
as long as it
literally,
makes
he's playing
the
the
tone.
suitcase.
As long as it makes the tone, it's good. It sounded good.
Yeah. There's no bass drum per se. It was the suitcase. And it worked.
Yep.
Samsonite and Ludwig, they need to get into business.
Well,
Or
you
DW.
talking about Mary Samsonite?
Who?
You remember Mary Samsonite?
No, she didn't go to
Did
my
you
school.
ever watch Dumb and Dumber?
No.
Yep. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Mary Samsonite.
Yep.
Yeah, because she had left her briefcase with all the money in it, and it had Samsonite on it.
Yep.
And she was Mary. Must be Mary. What's her name? Mary. Mary Samsonite. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
remember
so-
strange things. Yeah.
So, is there food here today?
They do have a food truck outside.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
They sure do.
I think it's right out.
And there's
yeah,
lots
right
of
back
beer here.
Yeah, actually see it through the window right there.
And
There's
there's,
lots
a,
of beer here.
Lots of beer here.
there's
Yeah.
a Hot Rod Tour merch truck out there.
Yes, they're setting it up right now.
Yep.
They are.
Yep. We're backing it up as I walked in here.
I see it on camera right here.
Oh, I see it there. Yeah,
Yep.
there it is right there. With the Texas flag and the
Yep.
Hot Rod Tour of Texas.
The giveaway.
Logo.
Yes, our
Yeah.
famous
Okay,
little logo.
so tonight is Montgomery, and then you're going to stay somewhere up in the Woodlands.
We'll
Conroe area?
stay in the most of us are in the Conroe area,
Yeah.
and then tomorrow we'll leave out Hunger Crush Cafe in Montgomery,
Yep.
and we'll be pulling out of there. Of course, taking a bunch of back roads, and we're going to end up in Madisonville at Braze
Yep.
Playground and museum, I believe.
So you're going to go through the forest up there?
We're going to be driving through some trees. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So before you leave us, so how do folks get a hold of you, Hot Rod Tour Texas, maybe for some merch or maybe kind of pre-sign up for next year? How do they do that?
All right, so we have our Hot Rod Tour Texas tour page, Facebook page, and then we also have a website, hotrodtourtexas.com, and we have our store located there also. If you want to buy merch and do shipping, we're trying to get better at announcing where we're going to be. If you want to go and see us there, we do go to New Braunfels monthly to a meet there.
Right.
And
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Every month?
Every month, last weekend of the month, at Gateway Classic Cars.
But you don't stay at Gateway Classic Cars. That's a consignment store.
Yep, but we
Yeah,
go
but
there, and they have like a caffeine and chrome is what they call it. Their
Yeah.
meat.
I think we've done a couple of
Well, that's where
Announcements on it, yeah.
last year. That's
we did
where
some
we met.
announcements
Past
on
2
that.
years.
Yeah.
we
Past 2
stopped
years,
there.
yep,
Yeah.
we sure did.
It's good to go in there and see the cars and with the stickers on them, the
Yeah.
price tag of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And they got 100 cars inside that
Yeah,
warehouse.
Easily,
yeah.
easily.
Yeah. So
And
if
it's
you
a
want to
beautiful
get
facility.
on the Hot Rod Tour, George, are you listening to me?
George.
David.
George is
that would
out
be a-
there
that'd be
somewhere.
a good-
Jeffrey was
that
my
would be a good
Heitzman
place to go and buy yourself a hot rod.
calling those
Classic
boys
car.
out.
That's right. It don't even have to be a classic. It could be a
No.
newer one.
Well, I'm driving a Buick this year, and I've been getting rave reviews about it.
It's a 2025 model. It's going to become a classic. He's actually looking at putting some wood siding on it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But, I got to get the right shaker can color before I spray it on there.
Shaker can. Yeah, that and the sponge.
And a sponge, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get the texture.
All right.
But yeah, registration usually doesn't open until the beginning of the year. That's when we finalize everything. So
You want to maybe give us a preview of where you think you might be going next year? We won't tell anybody.
Nobody. We believe we'll be going back to the Hill Country next year.
Okay. Yeah, that's always fun.
But
Yeah.
you know
I mean,
what?
anywhere you go.
There's only one other place, and that would be East Texas.
Yes.
And
that's-
going north from the Beaumont area up through the Piney Woods up to that,
Yep.
maybe down the road. Just
Yeah,
an
maybe
idea.
down the road
Yeah,
because
but-
we try to change it up every year.
By the way, there's your car right there. That's
My train.
Yeah.
Union
Yeah,
Pacific
if you
just
could figure
rolled
out a
by.
way to go around Houston to
Yeah.
to East Texas, that'd be great.
That
Well,
would be a
you can.
logistical thing for
It's
them to work
right
out.
up
From
there.
Victoria up to Beaumont, that's, I don't know, you need a passport, you got to get shots and all that.
Yeah.
Shots. Jeremy, thank you.
Thank
Thank
y'all for
you,
having
sir.
us.
Yep, it's great
Thanks
to
for
see you.
coming.
All right, we'll see you
We'll talk
later
before the end
on.
of the show.
All right.
You bet.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Hey, just ahead, a special feature along with Jeff's car culture and prepping American versus foreign rides.
Yeah. What do you
In-wheel
want to
time-
buy?
The
What do you
In-Wheel
want?
Time Car Talk Show is back in 2 minutes.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The Inwell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
All right, thanks for joining us today on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Let's see. Hey, we hit the road again. God help us.
Oh, no.
The next stop is Granbury for the Lone Star and Street Rod Association State Run. Join our live broadcast on June 14th. We'll be on 9 to noon. Thanks for being with us today, and we appreciate you. We're coming to you on the Hot Rod Tour of Texas today, and we are at the Spindletap Brewery here on the north side of Houston.
Yep.
Just off of US 59, the East Tex Freeway as we call it. And all of the, well, it started off as 300 cars. I think that they're probably down to 200 cars, but let me tell you, that's a lot of cars.
It's a lot of cars.
Yeah. And
50
parking,
cars is a lot of cars.
it
Yeah,
is. If
yeah,
you stop
just-
and think about it, it is. All right. So what do you got? You have a special for us?
I do. It's called American Cars versus Foreign Cars. A little bit of stats and facts, and what would you buy? Choosing between American and foreign automobiles is sometimes a complicated decision, but it's interesting to find out what people want to know about it and how they make their decisions. What percentage of cars are American? Well, nearly half of all cars in the United States are from overseas. More specifically, about 45% of them are foreign cars. 54% are domestic. So that's a fairly decent number. American outweighing the foreign. What are the foreign cars better than American cars? Well, better is a subjective term, but because European car manufacturers usually have stricter regulations and requirements from an automobile manufacturer in America, they tend to be higher. The quality tends to be a little bit lasting longer. That's consensus in the people that are looking into buying these things. Why are American cars better than foreign cars? Well, that's another choice that you have to make. American cars are sometimes better than foreign car vehicles, especially to consumers that want to buy American. Wherever they can. I mean, even in appliances and multiple choices, purchases as well. Even though sometimes difficult to tell exactly where the parts of that vehicle are made. Do American or foreign cars last longer? There's always an argument regarding whether American or foreign cars last longer. At one time, typically, vehicles drove very well under that banner about 100,000 miles. That was the max. Now they're about 300,000 miles and still going. So it's a matter of maintenance and how they put them together. Who assembles the most cars in America? Well, you're looking at, in the United States, Tesla assembles the most in the United States in the country, followed by Jeep at 89%, Cadillac 86%, Dodge at 83%, GMC at 80%, and number 11 on the list is Nissan, which assembles about 55% of the vehicles in the United States. Why do Americans prefer foreign cars? Well, whether these perceptions are completely realistic or not, it is subjective, and there's a few reasons that people have in their own making of that decision.
Can I just jump in?
Sure.
So back in the day, when Toyota and Honda came to the United States.
And they were head-to-head.
They were head-to-head,
Yeah.
but the movement was, in my era at that time, late 60s, early 70s, that the foreign makers, Honda and Nissan and those bunches that came to the United States first, they lasted longer. They were better built. They were higher quality cars.
Well, there were smaller cars, too.
They were, but and for that they
If
competed.
that mattered, yeah.
They competed against the other smaller cars that the manufacturers in the United States were making. The Novas, for instance, that sort of stuff.
I had one, and it was a great car.
But that was the nomenclature here that we all said, oh, well, I hear that they make longer lasting cars. And that wasn't necessarily true. If you took care of your American car, which we didn't do, we treated them like trash.
Well,
35,000 miles, we traded it in on
It was a different
something.
era because they didn't last much longer than 35,000.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by that?
Well,
my dad's Buick lasted forever.
but our age, when we were growing up, I was flipping cars every couple of years, as a teenager. That's, you get
well, I didn't have that kind of money, Jeff.
Yeah, I think that's part of being a teenager, though. But you're right. I remember my dad rebuilding motors in the driveway. Oh, it's got 100,000 miles on it. It's got
putting rings in it.
Yeah, you got to put rings in it or bearings
change the
in
points.
it or something.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always something.
And why are American cars not sold in Europe? Well, it's the conception and not being the better built vehicle, like you just said.
It's not true.
Well, that's the perception and the conception of some
exactly.
of the people.
Yeah.
So. Anyways, worldwide, there's roughly 160 brands of vehicles, which means the makes of these vehicles, as far as models are concerned, there's new ones popping up all the time, but as of 2020, they estimate about 250 to 260 total models of vehicles. So make your choice.
My God,
it's all
that's
you.
a lot.
Yeah,
Man.
and some of them brands I've never even heard of. So it's kind of
and there's more and more now.
Yeah.
Now it's the electrics that are. Everybody's trying to get a foot in the
EQ
door.
or EV this and
Rivian,
S-Type. Yeah.
Ocean. There's all sorts of different new makers that haven't even thought about coming to the United States yet, but they're poised to. We haven't even opened up the market to the Chinese.
Yeah.
And the Chinese really have a leg up on pricing and longevity, mileage on their electric vehicles. We haven't even opened a store here yet. That's coming.
They interviewed the CEO of Hyundai on some news show last week or whatever, and he was talking about how they want to come to the United States and start blasting cars out in the United States.
Yeah.
And they ended the conversation on a handshake, so that was good.
I have to tell you, and I'm going to review this in a couple of weeks. I just took a delivery of a 2025 Ford F-150 hybrid. Granted, it's $80,000, but let me say this. It's a hybrid. And boy, is it nice.
Hybrids are popular. Yep.
Hybrid is the way to go. Manufacturers know how to make them. They've been making them for a while. And I think they got the juju down on the hybrids. Mm-hmm. So if you're going in the market for a new car, I would definitely check out a hybrid if you can. They're a little bit more expensive, but hey, it's worth the money, I think.
Cadillac Escalade electric, 460 miles is what they're touting.
And on a range.
Yeah, range.
So keep that in mind. All right. Time now for a quick break here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We're on the Hot Rod Tour. Thank you for joining us up here at Spindletap Brewery. We're back after this.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us.
Sit down.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.